Okay, board members, we all set? Here we go. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Community Unit School District 300 Board of Education, I would like to thank you for being in attendance, both virtually and in person, for tonight's board meeting. At this time, I would like to reconvene the meeting of the Community Unit School District 300 Board of Education to order for Tuesday, July 23rd, 2024. Madam Secretary, would you please take the roll?
Burkett, present. Fiorentino. McKindy.
Present.
Scarpino.
Present.
Thomas. Present. Zettler.
Present.
You have 5 board members present.
Thank you. Would you please rise for a pledge of flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. We have one change to the agenda. We will not be needing a second closed session. So with that, do I have a motion to approve the amended agenda, please?
Second.
Madam Secretary, would you please take the roll?
Zettler. McKindy.
Aye.
Burkett, aye. Scarpino.
Aye.
Thomas. Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Dr. Smith.
I'd like to have Ms. Vicki Politzer and Ms. Amanda Cooney please come to the podium to introduce our Illinois Sub of the Year.
I'm Vicki. Hi, I'm Amanda, and we are district managers with EduStaff. We are very excited to be here today to present the award for Illinois Substitute of the Year. The Substitute of the Year award is the most prestigious award that can be bestowed upon an EduStaff substitute. The person chosen for this award displays the highest level of EduStaff's core values, which are excellence, wholeheartedness, and servanthood. This individual was chosen amongst 667 substitutes in Illinois. In order to determine a winner, we compiled all of EduStaff's Excellence Award nominations across all districts that EduStaff is partnered with in Illinois. These nominations came directly from District 300 employees. We began implementing this program in January of 2024. The person chosen for this award received 9 different nominations in 5 months, which was the most out of the entire district. So we want to congratulate Dewana Oliver for being named this year's Illinois Substitute of the Year. Dewana retired from teaching in 2003 and immediately began substituting in District 300. She has been teaching for more than 50 years. Staff members in District 300 call Dewana amazing, a positive light, and a true treasure. Here are some of the other things that District 300 staff have said when they nominated her for Sub of the Year. She lights up the room and makes every staff member and child feel important and seen. She sets high expectations for students' behavior and knowledge, and they consistently rise to a new level because they respect her and want her to be proud of them. She's very positive, mature, and a big influence that demonstrates mutual respect with her students. She is intuitive and compassionate with students in all situations. Her acts of service and dedication to students are legendary. We know when Ms. Oliver subs in our classrooms, we can leave plans that are not just time fillers. She's an educator. She is an inspiration and someone I deeply admire. I'm always grateful for her presence in my classroom and the life lessons that she imparts in the simplest of ways. Dewana said her favorite part about substitute teaching is the joy and challenge of seeing a different class almost every day. I love to teach because I love kids. I learn a lot from them, and I believe that I have a lot to offer, she said. Also, the relationship with the staff is of utmost importance to me. I love people, and it brings me great joy to my life to share what I have learned in life with them as well as the students. Her advice to substitutes is and to herself is to make it a great day. It's a blessing to be able to not only teach, but to influence young minds, she said. When she's not teaching, she loves to host people in her home. I love to invest in people's life by walking the journey that they are on. My faith is very important to me, and I seek ways to impact my neighbors, my community, and my church. Thank you, Dewana, for bringing your incredible talents to EduStaff and to District 300. Oh, yeah, we can do a picture. We can do it after. We can do it after. Okay.
Outstanding job.
Thank you.
Outstanding.
Thank you.
Outstanding.
Thank you so much.
And if you
Thank
do
you.
want to get a picture with her, just of her.
Thank you. Thank you. Bless you. Thank you. Oh, wow, thank you. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dr. I'm honored to be here. You can come right. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Front and center, Dewana. Tonight, you're looking at the cream of the crop of this, some of the cream of the crop of this district. The teachers who, and secretaries who have showed up here, not just to honor me, but they are educators, they're friends, they're fellow jury members with me, and I am deeply, deeply honored to receive this, and I realize that it took a lot of work on EduStaff, which I so appreciate. Board of Education, thank you, and I am grateful beyond words for all of you. For the secretaries, the principals who made such an important part of my life, I am so grateful. And I'm still young. And if the Lord wills, then I will return to the classroom.
We hope so. Thank you.
Outstanding, Dewana. If you folks want to leave now, you're more than welcome to. It's unless you want to stick around for the entire meeting. Totally up to you. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. Yeah. Board members, we're going to move on to the board announcements. No one has signed up for public participation or staff introductions. Dr. Smith.
I'd like to have Mr. Mark Wetzel please come to the podium.
Good evening. I'd like to ask Kelly Manalfi to come to the front, please. Right in the middle. Oh, yeah. Front and center. Tonight, I'm pleased to introduce Mrs. Kelly Manalfi as the new Assistant Superintendent of High Schools for District 300. In her new role, she will oversee all of our high schools. Mrs. Manalfi transitioned to the district's Education Services Department in 2022 as Coordinator of Student Services, and most recently, she served the district as Director of Employee Relations and Recruitment. In each of these leadership roles, she focused on developing relationships with staff to promote student learning. In 1997, she began her teaching career in District 300 as a student teacher at Dundee Crown High School. At Dundee Crown and then Carpentersville Middle School, she taught English as a second language. In 2017, Mrs. Manalfi transitioned back to Dundee Crown, where she served as assistant principal for 6 years. Mrs. Manalfi holds a Bachelor of Arts degree from Western Illinois University, a Master of Education degree in Interdisciplinary Studies in Curriculum and Instruction from National Louis University, and an administrative certificate from Aurora University. With her extensive educational experience, high expectations, and dedication to students and staff, Mrs. Manalfi is well equipped to serve as Assistant Superintendent of Schools. Joining her tonight are her husband, Joe, and her son, Nico. Welcome. Please. Please join me in congratulating Mrs. Kelly Manalfi as new Assistant Superintendent of Schools.
Next, we have Ms. Chris Sainsbury.
Good evening. My name is Chris Sainsbury, Assistant Superintendent of Schools. It is truly my pleasure to come before you this evening to introduce Mrs. Emily Varghese. Emily, if you can please come up. Tonight, I am pleased again to introduce Mrs. Emily Varghese as the next principal of Lincoln Prairie Elementary School. Mrs. Varghese has a wealth of educational experience, having spent 5 years as an assistant principal at Clifford Johnson Elementary School in Community Unit School District 200, which is based in Wheaton, Illinois. In addition, she has served 5 years of teaching as an experienced first grade classroom teacher and 1 year of teaching experience in a third grade bilingual classroom. She has expert knowledge in the areas of curriculum, instruction, professional development, and social emotional learning, as well as the effective management of school operations. Additional experiences include developing and cultivating meaningful relationships with staff, parents, and community members. Mrs. Varghese has earned 2 master's degrees, one in educational administration from Concordia University, and the other in teaching and learning English as a second language from the University of St. Francis. In addition, she has earned a bachelor's degree in elementary education from Southern Illinois University. Having begun her tenure at Lincoln Prairie as principal on July 1st, Mrs. Varghese has already worked closely with the central office team and her school staff to ensure the best start and transition for Lincoln Prairie. Additionally, she has hosted a meet and greet, which is very successful and full of great high energy to meet her families. Joining her tonight, I would like to welcome her husband, Matt, her son, Matthew, and her daughter, Gracie, in the front row. Hi, guys. Please join me in welcoming Mrs. Emily Varghese as the new principal of Lincoln Prairie Elementary School. Welcome, Emily.
And next, we have Mrs. Kelly Manalfi.
Well, good evening, board members and Superintendent Dr. Smith. Tonight, I am pleased to Asia, could you please join us up front? Sorry, it's my first time. Tonight, I am extremely pleased to introduce Dr. Asia Gurney as the interim principal of Dundee Crown High School. Dr. Gurney has served as an associate principal at Dundee Crown High School for the past 5 years. Prior to joining the high school, she served as principal of Carpentersville Middle School for 5 years and as principal of Lakewood School for 2 years. In addition, she served as assistant principal at Carpentersville Middle School for 5 years. The beginning of Dr. Gurney's career in education started in District 89, where she worked in Maywood as a special education teacher. She also taught for 7 years as a special education teacher in Community Consolidated School District 21, based in Wheeling. Dr. Gurney earned a bachelor's degree in special education in 1996 from Northern Illinois University, a master's degree in educational leadership in 2006 from Northeastern Illinois University, and a doctoral degree in education leadership from Argosy University in 2015. She has provided excellent leadership and service throughout her career, and we are confident that she will continue to be a tremendous asset to the Dundee Crown community. To facilitate a seamless transition, she has collaborated extensively with the central office team. Additionally, she has been planning an informal meet and greet event for school families to attend. Joining her tonight are her children, Addison and Tyler, right back here. And we would also like to acknowledge Dr. Gurney's daughter, Aubrey, who could not be here this evening. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Asia Gurney as interim principal of Dundee Crown High School.
Now with that, if anybody wants to leave, you can exit, or you can stick around, whatever you choose to do. It's totally up to you. I read the rules of decorum at our last board meeting. Is there anyone in here that's not going to follow the rules of decorum? If so, please raise your hand. No? Okay. Let's head down to number 8, board announcements, please. We have 8.1 is the school board member vacancy. Dear members of the District 300 community, at a special meeting held on July 15th, I announced that Randy Gauthier, formerly a member of the District 300 Board of Education, resigned effective June 26, 2024. The resignation leaves a vacancy on our board, which we are looking to fill before Friday, August 23rd, to meet the requirements outlined by the Illinois School Code. Community members can view a video that includes my complete announcement regarding Ms. Gauthier's resignation on the District 300 website at d300.org/board meeting video archive. Once on that web page, just navigate to the July 15th meeting. The video also includes all of the details for how to apply for the vacant position and related eligibility requirements. Those individuals interested in serving on the board must apply no later than noon, Friday, August 2nd, 2024. Board application information can also be found by visiting the news section of the district website at d300.org. If you have any questions regarding the board vacancy, you can email them to Diane Stratton, the board secretary, at dianestratton@d300.org. Superintendent report, number 9.
If I could have Ms. Shelley Nackey, Joe Sosowski, Jorge Almodovar, and Chris Sainsbury come to the podium, please. They will give us our summer school overview from this summer.
Good evening again. Dr. Smith, community members, board members, my name is Kristen Sainsbury, Assistant Superintendent of Schools, and I am joined by an esteemed group tonight. As mentioned, we have Shelley Nackey, Assistant Superintendent of Education Services, Joe Siskowski, Director of CTE Pathways, College and Career Programs, and Jorge Moldovar, Assistant Superintendent. It is our pleasure to provide you with an update on our summer programming. This summer, District 300 continues to offer students a variety of learning opportunities well beyond the regular school year. These include the following: Extended School Year, or ESY, and Northwestern Illinois Association, or NIA, Middle School and High School Summer School, Summer Scholars, CTE Summer Enrichment Camps, Summer Athletic and Fine Arts Camps, as well as our READ 300 program. Our team will provide you again with a brief overview and some program highlights. We will begin with Shelley Nackey, who will start us off with ESY.
Have to move it down, I'm a little shorter. So thank you. So extended school year, ESY, is for our students who have an individualized education plan. And it's identified through the IEP team that includes the parents that there needs to be school continue to make their goals and their progress on their IEPs. We had 20 fun-filled days of ESY. I think some of you may have seen the picture of our therapy dog at 2 of our schools. Huge hit for that. We looked at field days, community trips, and engagement. We engaged our community through community. We had our police and fire departments visiting that the kids loved, as well as many social activities, as well as making those progress on their IEP goals. So when we look at that, of the students who were eligible, we had 571 attend. Overall in the district, just to give you an idea, we have just over 3,000 students with IEPs. Not all of them qualified, but we did have 571. None of this would be possible without our amazing staff, from teachers to paraeducators, occupational therapists, vision, hearing, all of those services are provided throughout the summer as well. We had 212 staff that dedicated and continued, and they had just as many smiles as the kids did visiting ESY. We were able to do 5 locations. That included Sleepy Hollow, that did house our NIA program for our deaf and hard of hearing students. Some of our locations have had to be adjusted over the past couple of years because of construction, but they have been successful and the school's very welcoming. And then, as I mentioned, our 2 therapy dogs, Buddy and Dolan. One of the dogs is actually one of our teachers' dogs, who brought in and donated the time with the dog as well. So pretty amazing. We also had summer school for middle school and high school for our students. The purpose of that really folds two different things. One of extending the summer, so students that may be pushed to that next level, as well as bring on their acceleration in learning to achieve those academic goals. So with those 2 purposes, we did hold it at Hampshire High School and Oak Ridge, Hampshire High School for our high school students and Oak Ridge for our middle school students. Again, this was a little bit of a change of location, but it actually worked out really well and had great support through our students and staff. When we look at summer school, if you keep the totals in mind of how many students by the end of this presentation that we have serviced and provided for this summer, it will be pretty amazing if you add all those up. So we had 1,197 students in grades 6 through 12 enroll in these programs. We had 1,662 courses completed by those students. So if you look at, some of those students did multiple courses throughout that. We had 2 more students graduate through our ALAT program. So through our numbers, through graduation, they just keep growing. And with all of this, we were able to successfully, that no 8th grade student would have to be retained and complete 8th grade again. So all of our students will be going on to 9th grade, and they've met that requirement. I'm going to turn it over to Jorge Alvador to talk about summer program for our scholars.
Thank you. Good evening, Board of Education, Superintendent Smith. So today I'm just going to talk really briefly about this. ESY was great, but this is the greatest one, Summer Scholars. So every summer we do provide an opportunity for our students to continue in our incoming first graders to 8th grade students to continue engage in education, especially in both areas, in the area of reading, in the area of math. The program is designed to address the priority standards for both content areas. This year we were able also to provide extra time for our students, so the entire month of June, the 4 weeks, it was provided for the students who participate in this program. As part of the program, we also provided field trips. We have, for incoming first graders to 3rd grade, we have a field trip going it was an in-house field trip. We have actually some pictures here with live animals. We have also for 4th and 5th grade, they went to Heritage Farms, and also this year we had an opportunity for our 6th to 8th graders to go to the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago. Let's look at some of the numbers. So this year we have 965 students enrolled in the program. We have 61 teachers participating, and the program was offered in 8 different locations. This is the best part of the program. This year we given an opportunity, we give a pre-test and a post-test that was standard aligned for both content areas, reading and math. And our students that participated in the reading portion, 5.3% increase in their mastery of the standards across all grade levels between 1 and 8th grade. The same thing for 8th grade. Math, the students also that participated in math, they increased 5.8% increase in their mastery of the standards. Now, Joe will continue talking to CTE, which is not as exciting. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know, Jorge, if you've ever seen a 7th or 8th grader lay a bead of well down, it's pretty exciting to see kids that young doing that kind of work. So, good evening, Board of Education, Board President Dr. Scarpino, and Superintendent Dr. Harkin. It's Dr. Smith. I'll get that. Thank you for giving me this opportunity tonight to speak to you about D300's Rising 5th through 8th grade CT Summer Enrichment Camps that ran earlier this summer. I would like to first stress that none of this would be possible without our amazing and dedicated and willing CTE teachers across the district. And we did have representation from all 3 high schools at Hampshire High School running these camps. The last week of May and the first week of June, we ran the 5th and 6th grade as well as the 7th and 8th grade career-related camps. They ran at Hampshire High School. Dundee Crown and Jacobs did not run camps due to the capital improvement projects taking place majority of the summer, so their facilities were not usable. May 28th through May 31st is when we ran our 7th and 8th grade camps, which you see included topics on baking, cooking, welding, woodworking, automotive technology, robotics, and engineering. Then June 3rd through the 6th, we ran the camps focused on our 5th and 6th grade students. The topics included baking, cooking, robotics, and engineering. We do have to make a cut at some level that welding and auto and some of those programs need to be a little bit older to get them involved in some of that stuff. The camps were meant to expose students at an exploration level to various career fields in addition to beginning to develop their skills in these programs or pathways. The camps ran from 8 to 10:15 a.m. as well as 11 a.m. to 1:15 p.m., which were referred to as AM and PM sessions. This will be important because you'll see this reflected in the numbers. Students can choose to attend the AM or PM or both if they wish. And this was strategically done so students that are participating in camps or other activities in the morning still had a possibility of making some of this stuff later in the day, as well as being able to choose multiple different topics to attend that day. When we had 262 students register, or registrations I should say, for an AM or PM camp, with 171 of those registrations being from the 7th and 8th grade group, and 91 from the 5th and 6th grade group. Of these registrations, then there was the total of 162 students that participated. So hopefully that makes sense. It's when I analyze then kids that took multiple camps is where the 162 came from. Transportation was provided when requested through middle school hub stops. Both breakfast and lunch were provided to any student who wanted either. Again, thank you for the opportunity to speak with you on behalf of our CTE programs, and we greatly appreciate our teachers who supported this.
I just wanted to comment on the access that our students have. The things that we're speaking about this summer really create a high sense of interest that really develops in that sense of belonging when they hit the school year. And I'm just proud to represent that. One of the camps that I'm representing here today are the summer athletic camps, and this is just another one of our ways that our students connect. I am here in representation and on behalf of Tommy Parisi, Director of PE, Health, and Driver's Education. Across the district this summer, serving feeder patterns from all 3 high schools, student athletes as well as our younger students had several opportunities to partake in a variety of skills and teams camps. Several of those camps are still in session, especially those that are fall sports oriented. Our students simply move from camp into practice. In review of athletic camps by the numbers, District 300 offered 117 different camps to students. This equates to 2,000 hours of opportunities for current and future student athletes and teams to develop and grow, and also to find a connection to school. In June alone, District 300 had 1,444 registrations. Summer camps continue through August, and we anticipate well over 3,000 registrants by the end of 2024 summer. Continuing on this theme, in representation of our Fine Arts summer programming, I'm pleased to be here on behalf of Chris Columbaro, Director of Fine Arts and Enrichment. This summer, we continue to provide a variety of camps for our elementary and middle school students in the fine and performing arts. There are a total of 4 weeks of camp that was offered, broken down into 2 sessions. For session 1, we offered 6th through 8th grade students for opportunities in band, orchestra, and choir. In session 2, we offered art and theater experiences open to students who will be entering 3rd through 8th grade. When we look at the numbers, between both sessions, overall interest and enrollment remained steady from previous years, with 178 total students participating. Of those enrolled, 62 students elected to participate in multiple opportunities within the session. So similar to Joe regarding CTE, a different level of experience. These dual participations allowed students to maximize their time with enrichment activities of the camp. In session 1, we had 24 students that participated in band and orchestra, as well as the choir. And in the other session, we had 38 students participate in full days of art and theater camps. We are incredibly grateful for the staff, for all of their planning and all of their efforts that take place to provide our kids an amazing experience. The program is self-funded, but we do offer scholarship opportunities to increase all of our students' access to these opportunities in the summer. Next, I want to welcome Jorge Almodovar, and he will continue our summer overview with highlights from Read 300.
Okay. Now we were going to be talking about the summer Read 300 program. And this summer, we hit the ground running, partnering with the D300 Foundation and our 8 local public libraries to launch the Read 300 program. District 300 students of all ages were invited to celebrate reading and participating in the summer Read 300 program. The goals are to connect our students with the local libraries to keep students engaged in learning while developing their love for reading. Additionally, summer reading programs help also prevent sometimes learning loss, promote academic growth, support emotional and social development, and involve families and communities in their children's education. This year, one of our goals is to continue partnering with the local libraries so our students know where the libraries are and they can continue going to our libraries. In our program, we have over 1,500 students that were enrolled in this program, and it's through their local libraries. And also, we have, of course, students from all grade levels participating in all our 27 schools. Right now, the program is not completely done because the end date for the program is August 22nd. Also, students that are also complete the program, they will be receiving, thankfully because we have our partnership with the D300 Foundation, they will be receiving a t-shirt and also a D300 certificate in addition to a school recognition in their building.
Board members, questions, comments, anything? Go ahead, Nancy.
I don't have any questions, but I just wanted to say that, as usual, you guys are doing a stellar work in these areas, and we really appreciate it. And honestly, Jorge, I think you and Joe are kind of neck and neck. But, you know.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm kidding. Everybody's doing great.
Yeah,
So
I do
like to see the
also-
healthy competition, though. That's good.
See how you turn up the heat a little bit and
Yes,
people
right.
get, yeah, I love that. They get, no, I just want to also, I was just talking to Ms. Jelinek in the back, and we were just adding the numbers just to give you a perspective on all the programs that we were talking about. So we were engaging over 3,800 students in the district this summer,
Solid opportunities for a lot of our kids. I mean,
just in
for
this.
summer. Yeah, that's great. You guys do a great job. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I did just want to add as we finish, Dr. Gavelle, if you could provide a final update at a future board meeting in August about summer reads, that would be great. Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Board discussion. Any updates for the board committees at all?
Yes, the next Operations Committee meeting will be Tuesday, August 13th at 4:30, where we will be seeing the first of the budget for the year. So that'll be a good one for people to tune into.
Board members, anything? Today I received an email, and it's a real nice honor what I'm about to read for this school district. It's with great pride that I announce that District 300 will host the Illinois Association of School Boards Kishwaukee Division meeting on October 24th at Hampshire High School. This is a significant event for our district and a wonderful opportunity to showcase our district, our community, and our schools. According to the IASB guide, the Illinois Association of School Boards is a voluntary organization of local boards of education dedicated since 1913 to strengthen public schools through local citizen control. The IASB provides school board members with an opportunity to collaborate, share best practices, and advocate for public education. I want to express my gratitude to fellow board member Mr. Steve Fiorentino and our superintendent, Dr. Martina Smith, for their partnership in enabling the district to serve as host for the October Kishwaukee Division meeting. We are honored to have this opportunity and look forward to a productive event. Outstanding. I also would like to thank our communications department, Mr. McGinn, and your department. The amount of information that you have to provide not only to the community but to all the employees and everything, you guys are doing a super job. And I just want to thank you on behalf of the Board of Education. Great job. Great job. We're on board discussion now, or excuse me, the consent items. As a note to those in attendance, both virtually and in person, these items are for the consent approval. They do not need to be read aloud because most of these have been covered in the Board Operations Committee. Do I have a motion to approve the consent items? Madam Secretary, would you please take the roll?
Zettler? Aye. Thomas? Aye. Scarpino?
Aye.
Burkett? Aye. McKindy?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Roll call action items. 12.1, approval of hearing program and lease agreement renewal. Do I have a motion for the approval of the hearing program and lease agreement renewal?
So moved.
Any discussion? Madam Secretary, would you please take the roll?
McKindy?
Aye.
Zettler? Aye. Thomas? Aye. Burkett? Aye. Scarpino?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Item 12.2, approval of JHS sanitary line and auditorium change order. Do I have a motion for the approval of the JHS sanitary line and auditorium change order? Any discussion? Madam Secretary, would you please take the roll?
Zettler? Aye. Thomas? Aye. McKindy?
Aye.
Scarpino?
Aye.
Burkett? Aye. Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Item 12.3, approval of education services software contract renewal. Do I have a motion for the approval of the Education Services Software Contract renewal?
Second.
Any discussion? Madam Secretary, would you please take the roll?
Thomas. Zettler. Burkett, aye. McKindy.
Aye.
Scarpino.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
12.4, approval of food service contract renewal. Do I have a motion for the approval of the food service contract renewal?
Second.
Any discussion? Madam Secretary, would you please take the roll?
Zettler. McKindy.
Aye.
Burkett, aye. Scarpino.
Aye.
Thomas. Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Item 12.5, approval of technology services contract renewals. Do I have a motion for the approval of the technology services contract renewals?
So moved.
Any discussion? Madam Secretary, would you please take the roll?
McKindy.
Aye.
Zettler. Scarpino.
Aye.
Thomas. Burkett, aye. Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Item 12.6, approval of Family Service Association of Greater Elgin MOU. Do I have a motion for the approval of the Family Services Association of Greater Elgin MOU?
Second.
Any discussion? Madam Secretary, would you please take the roll?
Thomas. Burkett, aye. McKindy.
Aye.
Scarpino.
Aye.
Zettler. Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Item 12.7, approval of Elgin Community College Articulated Dual Credit. Do I have a motion for the approval of the Elgin Community College Articulated Dual Credit? Any discussion? Madam Secretary, would you please take the roll?
Zettler. Thomas. Scarpino.
Aye.
Burkett, aye. McKindy.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Madam Secretary, would you please take the roll?
Zettler. Thomas. Scarpino.
Aye.
McKindy.
Aye.
Burkett, aye. Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. We are adjourned.